Magical Living Coaching. This is Marianne Candido, and we are on day 8 of EFT for weight loss. It's a fabulous day. Today was my weigh day, and I lost 1.5 pounds, and that was without counting calories, weighing my food, going to meetings, without fasting or starving myself or working out really hard and strenuous, just a daily exercise routine. And even though I even missed a few days of exercising, I still lost 1.5 pounds, and I feel wonderful. The coolest thing about this is I feel great. I feel sexy. I feel self-confident. And it's not just about losing the 1.5 pounds. My goal was 26 pounds, so I have 24.5 to go. But what it is I notice that that number that I have in my mind of what I want to lose as my goal weight is just a number, and it is fluid and flexible. And the most important thing is that we feel good. We feel good about ourselves. We are healthy and living active lifestyle. We are eating right, and we are exercising too, getting that aerobic activity for our heart. And then by doing all this, other things happen, and we start to feel better about ourselves. And when we start to feel better about ourselves, now that law of attraction is kicking in to start delivering us other things in our life that we want. Our other desires will start to manifest. And by getting rid of the baggage, you can see how much that helps you to just feel better. Even if you're not watching those pounds and you're not keeping track of the pounds, and you're just doing it to maybe fit in your clothes a little better, or you're just doing it to have better eating habits. The most important thing is that you're starting to feel better. You're starting to get in the zone. There's so much more that happens when we're in that zone. We start living a magical life, and it's so exciting because I know for me, my weight has always been an issue, and when I feel heavy, I feel weighted down, I don't feel confident, and naturally then that's the energy I am putting out to the universe. So what's attracted to me when I feel like that are not the best of circumstances, or let's say my desires that I truly want are not manifesting, and I'm just staying stagnant, and just existing and life happening to me instead of me creating my life. So this is a wonderful day. I feel excellent and fabulous, and I hope you do too. I hope you notice some changes, and by getting rid of the baggage, that you feel great and you're increasing that vibe, your energy shifting. Okay, so today we're going to talk about when you see food, how you want to eat it. So grab, I'll put this video on pause and go grab a magazine with food in it of something that looks really yummy to you and that brings up a big old charge in you that you want it. Okay, I've got mine here. It's Vegetarian Times magazine, which always has tons of food. And here is a picture of a red velvet cupcake with cream cheese icing. Oh my goodness. So this is now ringing out a big old 10. I just had lunch. I'm satisfied, but this is driving me nuts. So let's test this EFT out for cravings right now. And we're going to do seeing food and eating it. And what you can do is when I tap for the red velvet cupcake, you can tap for whatever it is that you are holding in your hand in the magazine that's driving you crazy. And then we're going to do kind of a global tapping on seeing food and what's that triggering in us to want to eat it. Okay? It's just that whole marketing thing that everybody does on TV is let's show them food. They'll go out and order a pizza at 9 o'clock at night. Okay. So I'm at a 10. And here we go. Even though I am dying for a piece of that red velvet cupcake, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I see that picture of that cupcake and I want it so badly. I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though that red velvet cupcake picture in the magazine is driving me absolutely nuts and I'm dying to eat a piece, I still deeply and completely accept myself. That picture of the cupcake is driving me crazy. I really want to eat a cupcake now. I can't control myself. I want to run out to the store and buy a cupcake. That cupcake in the photo is driving me crazy. This picture of this cupcake, I just want to bite into it. It looks so moist and creamy and delicious. I really want this cupcake badly right now. This cupcake in the photo in the magazine is driving me insane. I really can't control this feeling because I'm looking at that cupcake and I really want it. Okay, so now here's where we evaluate how well this helped for us. And remember, you can do EFT tapping at a moment's notice. If you get a craving, just run into the other room. If your family is, whipping out, or you're at a party and there's this cake you really want, but you know that you've probably shouldn't have it, and you really don't want to crave, because once you start eating sweets, some people are like this, they just can't stop. It's that red light food. And like I said, I feel I'm a big believer in not depriving ourselves, but then again, there's also that balance. I would rather not want it than feeling deprived. So I can either eat it and I'm not feeling deprived, but then the results are on my body, or I can B, not eat it and feel deprived, or C, I can tap on that I want to eat it and then the feeling goes away and I don't want it, so then I'm not feeling deprived. So you see kind of where I'm going with that. So I'm going to look at my cupcake picture, and I was at a 10. Holy cow. I don't know about you, but I'm about down to a 5. This cupcake is not driving me crazy like it was, but it's still there a little bit. So we're going to tap on it another round. Okay. So even though I still have a little bit of temptation for this cupcake in the picture, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have a little bit of a craving for that red velvet cupcake in the picture, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though my stomach is really shouting out a little bit for that cupcake, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Still have a little bit of a craving for that cupcake in the photo. Still have a little bit of a craving for the cupcake in the magazine. I still have this feeling that, little bit of feeling that I want a cupcake. I still have a feeling that I would like to bite into that moist, juicy cupcake. I still have a feeling that I would really like something sweet. I just ate lunch, and it's kind of a habit that I want something sweet, so I still have a little bit of a craving for something sweet like that cupcake. I still feel a little bit of a craving for that cupcake. I still have a little bit of a craving for that picture, for that cupcake in the picture. Okay, so I'm going to look at it again, reevaluate. Wow, I'm between about a 0 and a 1. So this cupcake right here in Vegetarian Times magazine is nada. It's not killing me anymore. It's not making me want to run to the bakery and go get a cupcake slathered with icing. And no, I'm good. I'm good. So how about you? If you need another round, go ahead and do another round, and just feel it. Feel what it brings up to you. That sweetness, maybe it's something sweet in your life that it brings you back to a memory of something, which would be a core issue that then you now would want to tap on. I don't have a core issue that's come up right now. It may in the future in another time, but right now it's the whole issue of seeing food or smelling food too for me And that's an issue. So globally, I'd like to tap on that. Even though right now I don't have the emotional charge, I know it's there because I do watch TV at night and we do see commercials, and I know that's a fact for me, is that when I see food, I want to eat it. When I'm out and I'm not hungry and they have samples of goodies, like at the grocery store or at a coffee shop, they'll have their samples of, there's usually sweets. I will sample them, even though I'm not going to buy one. I know that. And number two, I may not even be hungry, but it's there, so I'm going to eat it. And that's all, that whole bit of it's there, I'm going to eat it. I see food, I want to eat it. So we're going to go ahead and let's tap on, I'd say it's a 10 just because it's always present when I see food and I want to eat it. And I don't know where it comes from. Maybe a core issue will present itself and maybe not. But at this time, we're just going to tap on the global issue. Okay. Even though every time I see food, I want to eat it, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though every time I see food, whether it be on TV or in a magazine or in a cookbook or at the bakery, I want to eat it. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though every time I see food somewhere on a TV or a magazine or in the store, I want to eat it. But I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Every time I see food, I want to eat it. Doesn't matter where I see food or how full I am, I still want to eat it. I still want to eat food even if I'm full, if I see it on the TV or in a magazine. Every time I see food, it triggers in me the need to eat it. Every time I see food, I want to eat it. Whenever I see food in a magazine or even read a recipe in a cookbook, it makes me hungry and I want to eat. Every time I see food in a magazine, a cookbook, on TV, or at the store, it makes me hungry and want to eat it. Even though I'm not always hungry when I see food, it still makes me want to eat it. Okay, so I was at a 10, and I would say, let's see, I would say I'm around probably a 7. So we're going to do another round, and nothing has come up as far as a core issue right now on this one, but maybe it will. So we'll see. Even though I still have this feeling of seeing food and then wanting to eat it, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this little bit of seeing food and wanting to eat it, I still deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though I still have this little feeling of every time I see food, wanting to eat it, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Still have this feeling of when I see food, I want to eat it. Still have this feeling of when I see food, I want to eat it. I still have this feeling that every time I see food in a magazine or TV or in a cookbook, I want to eat it. Doesn't matter if I'm hungry, or full, every time I see food, I still want to eat it. Still have that little bit of a feeling that I'm going to look at food in a magazine and want to eat it. I am still concerned that every time I see food on TV, I am going to want to eat it. I still have this little bit of feeling that when I see food, even if I'm not hungry, if I see it, I'm going to want to eat it. Even though I still have this little feeling of every time I see food, I want to eat it. Okay. I feel pretty good. I feel like I've cleared it. However, a funny little memory came to mind. And I remember being in school and, the jokes. Everybody always had jokes and, knock knock jokes and all that. But I remember this one joke. And it was, I'm on a seafood diet. And they would say, what's that? Well, every time I see food, I eat it. Is that the crazy thing? But that was the exact phrase I used as I was tapping. And then I remembered the joke from school, from grade school. So where that came from, I, I'm going to think and about that. And what I'm thinking is maybe to make light of my weight, to make it not so hard to bear when I was younger, there I would joke. And that could have been one of the jokes that I said just to make light of my own sorrow. So maybe that was it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just tap around on the fact that I made light of my weight through humor, and I would joke with myself about that. So we'll see. Okay, so even though when I was young, I made light of my weight problem through jokes and humor, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though when I was young, I made jokes about my weight, I still deeply and completely accept myself. Even though when I was young, other kids made jokes about my weight, and that made me feel odd and not so good. I still deeply and completely accept myself. So what I have here, I'm seeing both hands of it, me and them. So I'm going to kind of combine it and see what happens with it. So I've made jokes about my weight to make it less important. Others made jokes about my weight, and that made me feel bad. So I compensated by poking fun at myself as well to make myself not feel so bad. I poked fun at myself and humored myself to make light of the situation. Because I was heavy, I wanted to make light of the situation. So I laughed at others' jokes, even though they weren't really funny and they made me feel bad. Other people made jokes, and I made them too at myself to make light of a situation that was painful for me. Okay, so I look back, and yes, that was painful, like we had talked about being picked last on the PE field and that sort of thing. But this seems to be very well cleared. So that could be all tied in with the seeing food, that whole thing, and making jokes and lightening it up because I felt awkward and felt bad about myself. So we cleared some more baggage. I hope you cleared some baggage too. What are we going to do tomorrow? I take, let's see, what are we going to work on tomorrow? How about we tap on our metabolism issues? Okay, so why don't we talk about those beliefs we have around our metabolism, our genetics, our whole body image. So let's do that tomorrow, because that's what's coming up for me, is that I have a really slow metabolism, and that's what needs to be worked on. So thank you for joining me. I feel wonderful to have you, and please feel free to email or comment with anything that you would like to tap on, and I would do that in a future video. Okay, thank you, and magical journeys. Bye-bye.